One Punch Man Chapter 169 just dropped, and pretty much it leads off where Garou just got punched the shit out of by Zero Punch Man, and essentially all the freaking the the tank top dudes and the metal bad thing, like all those freaking people who like got beat up and hunted by Garou, basically they all like jump him because like how he just got punched by Saitama, and they're all like, oh shit, this is a chance, right? So these weak heroes or whatever just start like pounding on Garou and shit, right? And then basically it cuts to where Saitama has the core and it was Genos, and then he gives it to him, right? And Genos was like, oh, that looks like my core. I'm gonna try attaching it, right? And basically, like I remember in the review in the previous chapter, I kind of said that I was kind of disappointed that no one knew like what happened with how like Saitama time travel, even he didn't know, right? But essentially, Genos finds out because the memories from the core are still like his memories technically. I don't know how that worked. I thought like since it was out of the body, he couldn't really record anything. But like basically, like Genos now knows that like everything that happened, like how he fought Garou's threat, how he died, how every hero died, and like everything that happened with the while Saitama was in the future when he came back and saved everyone. So basically, he kind of said something like, "Oh yeah," gives this exposition thing like, "Oh yeah, you did all this shit, like regardless of what happened, you guys still gonna win and shit, right?" And Saitama doesn't listen to that shit at all. Like he's just confused and shit, right? It's of course Genos being Genos, he just thinks like, "Oh, this guy's not trying to take credit for it, he's trying to give it to someone else and shit, right?" He's all like happy and shit, right? But essentially, Terrio wakes up and like sees future Garou. I'm getting Garou saw what happened and shit, right? So he sees future Garou and like, oh shit, Uncle, what the fuck is up, right? And basically he walks up and he sees the heroes just pounding on him like a little bitches, right? Because they couldn't do shit when like he was all disaster of God. They were all like, oh no, what are we gonna do? We're gonna die. Oh no. Well, essentially he sees it like, oh, the these people gotta stop, right? And Melbat is like, hey guys, like this guy got beaten enough. We gotta stop, right? And then Amaya Max Pierre pulls up and says, nah, bro, you gotta beat this dude up, bro. He's a monster now. We're gonna kill this dude, right? And like, Sasha was like, oh, let him fight, right? Let him fight, whatever. And then, essentially, some stuff goes on, and then, essentially, Zombie Man comes up, because he knows about God, and like, because of Homeless Emperor, he just pulls up and is like, oh shit, bro, you know what dude named God, like, say, people are saying, like, you couldn't gain those powers and shit, because you're weak as fuck, like, we could have handled you probably, right? But I don't know, he's got super strong and like the kind of like Homeless Emperor, right? And then God pretty much says like, yeah, fuck you, boy. This is me, boy. This is me. I don't know if he actually knows if he took. I'm pretty sure he doesn't know, right? Because he thought he slapped it away and stuff, right? So he's like trying to like beg father and tells him to kill him and shit, right? I said tells him to kill him and shit, and like then this my master like take it serious like, oh shit, he's telling us to kill us now, so we're just gonna beat his ass, right? They go to beat him up, but then Terrio jumps in like, hey yo, you gotta stop, right? You gotta stop. Like he's a hero and shit, right? Basically he's doing that Terrio shit. And King sees him and he kind of recognizes him from before where he's like, oh, don't bully this dude, right? And he knows like, oh, don't bully guard, right? And since King knows like what happened with everyone, like, cause like remember when like he the King like what was it the King Cannon shit, right? The freaking disaster of God move, whatever that shit was. Basically, like he knew it was Garou because Saitama told him like, oh yeah, that was Garou and shit, right? So essentially, he's like, yeah, you guys gotta like, and we're like arguing like, oh, should we do what should we do with the kids right here, right? Should we kill him or what should we do, right? And like, I was like, nah, we should kill him. We should kill him. Like this guy's like trying to beat us up. He tried to like, if it wasn't for him, we could have like gone through swiftly other monster situation and shit, right? And then King just uses the King engine to the maximum output and scared the shit out of everyone. Everyone was like, oh shit, bro, he fucked up. Everyone just like separates, right? Everyone dips. Even on my mask and the Escalators, they're like kind of shook. And essentially, like, my mask's like, oh shit, what the fuck you doing, King, right? And like, King's just like, yeah, it's what he just looks. He doesn't say anything. He just like looks at them, right? And like, Tara's like, oh yeah, let's go, right? And then Bang just comes up and says like, oh yeah, bro, Gar, you can't be doing this shit, right? Stop being a bitch. And just stop trying to die and shit, right? And basically Saitama pulled her like, oh, good job, buddy. Like, well done, bro. I know what you did. Like, you try your freaking monster costume shit. That shit ain't working on me, bro. Do what you want, right? And basically, they told him like, basically Saitama's like, oh, don't kill him. Bang's like, don't kill him. King's like, don't kill him. Melbat's kind of like, don't kill him. But then everyone was like, oh, I gotta fuck this dude up, right? And it was like, And basically, King's like, hey, yo, you better not let me live. I mean, Garou's like, you better not let me live, bro, or I'm gonna beat your ass, right? Because he's Garou. And essentially, he everyone's like, oh, Target's like, oh, just run away, right? And bro just ran, bro, just ran, right? He just ran. He's like, I don't know which direction he went. He just went some direction. I'm pretty sure when Saitama followed his where he went, everyone else was like, he pretty much blitzed everyone. So I'm guessing like, if he wanted to, he could just beat all those fuckers up. Like if Saitama wasn't there, even now when you got super punched and like all this freaking shit power got taken away, I'm pretty sure you could still like jump on, bang, flashy flash. Basically, I'm pretty sure you could take everyone on if Saitama wasn't there, pretty much. So I'm pretty sure like he was letting them beat on him and shit, right? So James kind of says like, oh, he's gonna be a repeat offender because like he's gonna be like doing all that weird shit, right? And Saitama was like, nah, bro, he chill with it, right? And bro, like the manga has like switched from the webcomic a bunch, so it's kind of weird like what's going on and shit. Like Metal Bat wasn't here, like King wasn't doing all this freaking motion cannon shit, right? And like Garou wasn't like taking influence from God. Like the whole thing has switched like a different direction, whatever. And in the end of the series, right, we see Metal Knight pull up from the ground. Is like, let's go, buddy, let's go. Like he's like, yeah, I'm trying to like help you guys. Like you came with all these drones and shit. He's like, we got cured for your freaking diseases and shit, right? Because everyone's like still impacted by the nuclear fission by a bit, right? And it was like Metal Knight, and like I'm pretty sure like was it the one hero association dude knows that like maybe that's kind of sus because Drive Knight said it, right? But in my opinion, I think he's chill with it, right? He's just chill with it. I think he's just like shit made up by Drive Knight because he's like he could do like because in the webcomic, right, it says something about like Drive Knight something about like him creating like a cyborg that kind of goes evil and shit, and that kind of like Metal Knight's fault. That could still be true, but like I think Metal Knight is good. He's just a good guy with like goes to extreme measures and shit. Let's say trying to like bomb the whole place and shit before it started, because like that would have been good because like freaking everything would have been chill. It's only the kid, right? So shit, I'm pretty sure Dry Dry just chill with it. I don't think it's like evil like mass cyborg dude or whatever, or like if he did make it, she's trying to stop him, or whatever, right? I think Dry Dry's just capping right now. So lucky the mass cyborg could be like anyone. It could be like Drive Knight. It could be still. It could be Genos on no cap, but it could be Dr. something Dr. Kuseno made. It could be like one Meta Knight shit, right? But I don't think Meta Knight's a bad dude because like he's actually trying to help people, right? Even though he said he wouldn't. And the chapter ends with Saitama just saying like, "Oh shit, man, our free apartment is done. I guess we just gotta take Genos to the freaking Dr. Kuseno to like fix him up, right? Because he's kind of dead, kind of like all that broken and shit. Has no legs. It's like, oh, we can just go to Dr. Kuseno real quick, and then we can scavenge all the microwaves and shit like that they left behind, right? So that's the end of the chapter. So like here's my basic theories and shit, right? So basically, Zombie Man talks about like God, and like if he was possibly influenced, and like Flashback kind of knows this is like God because Blast told him, right? And like at the end of the chapter, like basically everyone believes like Blast is the one who saved him and shit, and like apart from Genos, everyone thinks that it was Blast, right? Just came up naked and saved everyone, right? So I'm guessing like the way they may change the webcomic over here, like with the new Heroes arc that's supposed to happen. Loki, I think it could just be like they could just focus on God and now, because like before this, like not everyone knew about God. Like basically, like Zombie Man knows about God like thoroughly, right? Flash knows about God, like, and like they kind of said to everyone like, "Oh, Blast said to me about God," and like I mean it's a pretty well known concept now, right? Most people know about God and shit. So I'm guessing this like change of the manga could legit mean like we're just gonna go straight to the God thing, or we could just go to where the world comic is at and just go straight to the God thing, right? So true evil, ultimate evil in the world, right? God. So I think that's pretty much it, bro. Like I'm not doing videos on like what God's gonna do and like what they're all gonna do, right? About God, about Blast, about Genos and shit, right? It's gonna be kind of interesting what to do with like a Maya Mask, Flashy fashion them, because Flashy Flash knows like kind of like strength, whatever, but he doesn't know the true strength, right? But like before a Maya Mask, Iron Man, they all knew and like doing the training and stuff, right? But I guess they don't know anymore, so it's kind of interesting what they're gonna do now. I can't wait to see it, right? Next chapter, I'm gonna make a theory video on what's gonna happen with all of them, right? Including God, obviously, because I was gonna make a video about God, because I thought they're not making another chapter, but they made another chapter, so I'm releasing this one. So the next one's definitely a theory about God or like Blast, his group. And like, if they know shit, like Smash Cyborg, My Mask, Metal Bat. So stay tuned. I'm gonna see you like next Thursday, cause I'm both Thursdays and Sundays. So that'll be it for the video. Peace.